expect it to work very well because of the Quattro system being around for a while. You notice this is the only vehicle that's big enough we have to actually move the ramps, longer wheelbase and a wider track behind it. As Curtis starts to accelerate, again the brakes grab immediately. You can see it starting to slow down one wheel to another. As we spool up, it doesn't take long at all for it to vector out power to the one wheel that's still touching the ground, and it drives out. It doesn't use the same sort of electronics as the other vehicles. Also, it's a larger vehicle, so with the bigger wheelbase, pretty good ground clearance, a little bit of wheel spin, it's able to pull out of there without too much trouble. Again, the BMW xDrive system is predominantly rear-wheel drive. So we should expect to see the rear wheels move first, which they do. You can see the brakes working and applying power as it's looking. So it doesn't freewheel like the Infiniti. It doesn't restrict the drivability like the Mercedes. Curtis brings the X5 up and over. A couple of things you'll notice is that lots of suspension travel as the wheels move up and down in the fenders. You can see how much droop there is, right? Traction system sees a little bit of spin, and you can see the brakes grab it instantly. The vehicle doesn't struggle at all to get up and over this. The back wheel, you can see lots of travel. It came off the ground for a brief instant. But we're onto a street that's still frosted over. How fast do you want the system to respond? Immediately, right? Especially if you have a spouse or a teenage son or daughter that's driving. So, Mercedes-Benz, German engineered, how well do you expect it to work? Anybody? Not very, right? But what you'll notice is how hard the brakes are working to keep the wheels from spinning, right? So when I reference the average Mercedes owner being maybe 106 years old, it makes sense. They have a very conservative setting for their stability and traction system. As soon as it realizes there's no traction out there, the first thing it does is try to slow the vehicle down. You there? So the other thing that's happened now is Curtis has pressed the gas pedal all the way to the carpet. So the system slows the vehicle down. It also reduces engine power. So if an elderly person is out and hits something that's frosted, this car is about trying to get them slowed down and stopped. It's not obviously about trying to get them where they're trying to go, right? Safety is the paramount response. The only way to get this vehicle off the ramp is for Curtis to drive it side 60. All right, I usually think it's about 106. And because of that, they're engineered for a soft luxury vehicle ride, reasonably good suspension travel, but you notice the rocker panel? The reason why these dirt mounds are so low is because of the limitation on the Mercedes-Benz. It's the lowest vehicle, lowest ground clearance. Wheelbase and track, they're the same size. How do we expect the Porsche to do? Not as well? So you're paying a premium, you know, at any given option level, the Porsche is $15,000 to $20,000 more than the X5. You hope that that buys you something rather than just a cool key. You can see the system's working, brakes are grabbing, looking for traction. Eventually it sees the wheel out to the right, but the key there is eventually. You can hear the back right wheel scratch a little bit, so it's trying. And there it goes. Suspension travel. Because it's designed as a road-going version, notice the front wheel doesn't hang down far at all. Lots of wheel spin to it. As soon as he makes it a little bit farther, the back wheel comes off the ground early. From a safety side, obviously it's very, very good. It's going to work very hard at slowing the vehicle down. It's just not necessarily going to get somebody where they need to go. Now, before Curtis starts up on this one, how do you expect the Infiniti to work?
It's stuck.
Stunning?
It's stuck.
Oh, it's stuck, yeah. We asked the question, how long do you think before it comes off? I think the right answer is Thursday. But you'll notice as he starts releasing brakes, because this is a predominantly front-wheel drive chassis, the front wheels start spinning up before the back wheels do anything. The other thing you'll notice now is that where the Mercedes-Benz clamped hard on the brakes, Nissan doesn't care so much about slowing you down. The wheels are allowed to spin freewheel up. As he continues to push down on the throttle, he can press this one to the carpet as well. And after about 15 or 20 seconds, the car finally realizes it's not going anywhere, and it shuts everything down. So again, the computer controlling engine management works very similar to the Mercedes-Benz, but the traction system that controls brakes on the wheels doesn't do anything nearly as well. So again, if you've got somebody you've got to send them to the store, if you've got to get to work and it's snowing out, which vehicle do you want to be in? Type, the front spoiler on this, the limitation, it starts to plow a little bit. Predominantly front wheel drive chassis, so very, very nose heavy. You notice the front end doesn't come off the ground much, but the back end, as it scoots through, there's not even enough weight back there to drag the wheel into the hole.